Morning, guys. Yeah, it's Tuesday today, so sorry for the laziness in uploading the video. So my market breakdown this week. There's not that many to be looking at, so in a sense, we're quite lucky that I didn't really upload one yesterday because I did look at the markets yesterday and I didn't see nothing clear at all, really, for swing based wise. I did get in on a GU long position yesterday, just based off day trading. But yeah, swing wise, there was nothing to really break down, and even now, I've kind of clutched at straws just to find these three pairs here. But starting off with USD CAD, then USD Swiss franc, and Aussie CAD. Jumping straight into this one, so US dollar, Canadian dollar. We're at the 4 hour at the minute. We've been waiting for this pullback for quite a while now. We've had this liquidity sweep from the upside with a very impulsive move downside, breaking multiple areas of structure. We've accumulated here. We have manipulated the downside to then push back upside. We are now pulling into my area where I'm going to be looking for short positions to the downside. We have a fair value gap here. I don't trade fair value gaps, but I do mark them out just to keep an eye on them. We have a supply area up here as well. Fucking hell. We have a supply area up here as well, which we could pull into, but then you can also mark out this daily candle as a supply range, but it's quite big for my liking. So I'll just mark it. I'm not really expecting it to go this high. If it does go this high, I'm going to be really careful with entries. I'm not going to rush. I'm going to be looking for confirmations to bring it downside, because once it gets this high, you're more than likely going to break through the upside. So we have tapped into my range, but I'm still expecting a little bit more upside, hopefully to this 71 fib level, and then I'm going to be looking to take it downside. So I'm looking for some sort of reaction around here, sweep of liquidity to then bring it down here. So that's what I'm looking at based on the US dollar, Canadian dollar. Yeah, there's not much structure at the minute. At the moment, we have a area of invalidation here based on the lower time frames, which we will need to keep an eye on. So if that does break, we could be looking at short positions. So if that breaks, then we could be looking at this scenario possibly happening down here. But at the minute, I'm looking at something like this. Yeah, and that's it. Going into US dollar, Swiss franc, we are looking at the same thing. We have swept out liquidity to the upside. We have impulsively pushed down, like really impulsively pushed down, taking out area here. We have pulled back upside. We have tapped into the 61, but I don't take the 61 levels anymore. I'm looking for more of a deeper pullback, the 71. So this whole range in general is my area. Yeah, so we have started to accumulate here. So I am looking for the manipulation to be at the upside, taking out these areas here to then push down to this lower level here. I'm looking at something like that. But overall, the accumulation on this has been quite long. So yeah, we have had a sweep of liquidity here, but no break of structure. So it's an iffy one, this one. But we're just going to be waiting. Hopefully we do. We do get that push upside. We've got this area supply here based off the 4 hour, which we haven't tapped into yet. Yeah, we have not, definitely not. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I'll be looking at a potential move up into that. Could always set a limit at the edge of this box, at the edge of this supply zone, and then target it down to here. But that gives me a 2R, which ain't bad. You could take the 2R, but I'll still be looking at potential lowers anyway. If I was to take a swing position, I always take my profits here. But if I was to take off this supply zone, I would target a lower level, at least 2 or 3R. As overall, I do think we could come lower to fill in this imbalance anyway. So overall, long term, based off daily, funny enough, I am looking at that position there. Sweep, impulsive move down. So we have tapped into a supply zone within our entry zone, and we have now started to push down. My full TP is here based on the higher time frame. So yeah, I am looking for a push upside in a minute, maybe today / tomorrow, upside into this area, and then a reaction downside. The last pair, Australian CAD, Australia Canada dollar, based off a 15-minute, I believe. Yes, it is. So we have had, let's clear some of this up a bit. Let's get rid of that. That's fine. We've had the sweep to the upside. We've had a push down impulsively, created liquidity here as well. We have opened this morning with a very bearish push, so depends how this reacts to this level here. Could even break it now, but I was expecting a push upside. We have engineered some liquidity around here as well, but I was expecting a push upside from here, coming up, taking out this liquidity here, and then I was looking for a quick turnaround from here to bring it down to this position here. But it looks like it's going to continue down today, which would be wild because we've got a lot of areas up here we could fill in and take out. So overall supply zone here, but it's not too strong because the liquidity is sitting there. But saying that, this supply zone here is the one I really would be looking at overall. So I'd be looking for a reaction within that area. But yeah, that's those three pairs, and I will go over the trade from yesterday, which was very simple. My new day trading style I've been looking at is very simple. The first hour of the London session range is highlighted. Depending on what side we break out of that range, whether it's upside or bearish, is the intent for the day that I'm going to be trading at. So in this case, yesterday we had a bullish breakout, and all we do is look for a area of significance, in this case a demand zone within that range, and then we wait for the price to come in and tag us in, and I just targeted a 3R, which was still below this high, which is lovely. So we got that, and then New York is the same thing. You either wait for a break upside or a break downside. In this case, we've got the break downside, which is here, because this wick is the class as the low. We've got the break downside. We wait for a pullback into area POI or whatever you want to look for, area of interest, which is here, nice supply zone. We pulled in, we had a stops at the high, and we pushed down for another 3R. I didn't actually take this trade. I was just looking at this trade with Mo. I was just explaining it to him how it works. But this trade I did take, I got a nice 3R, which I did actually return a 1.5% on my account, because I did only trade a 0.5% risk. And then if this one come in as well, that would have been another 1.5%. So yeah, this morning is going to be exactly the same thing. We've had the range finish now. So depending on how this works, we could see a push upside break out of this range, which is then I will be looking for a pullback down into an area, which would be actually, I will hide that, would be this area here. That whole demand area there. So if we do get a break upside and close above this range, I will be looking for a retest of this area, stops covering the low of that range of the London session, and then I will target a 1 to 3 again. You don't need to have it at the low of here. You just want to target. You just want to have it at the low of the actual range. That would be my idea if we close above this range here. But yeah, that I believe is it for today. Double check. Yeah, so it's just in 3 pairs. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you guys, and I will see you at the next one.